Good afternoon. My name is Annette Nichols, and this is my graduate research project for Compensation and Benefits Management with Dr. Diane Sanchez at Amberton University for the spring of 2021. Today, I'm going to be discussing creation of a compensation and benefits program for Whole Foods Market to increase employee motivation. I'm going to introduce my hypothesis, which is to create a compensation and benefits program for a financially troubled company. I'm going to discuss Whole Foods Market and their history. I'm going to talk about current employee benefits plan and the types of employee motivational strategies. And I will also discuss individual and team approaches to motivation. And I'm going to also outline advantages and disadvantages of individual and team incentives, my limitations of study and methodology that I used in my research, and I'm going to end with some recommendations for a compensation plan and conclusions. Just to give you a little bit of history of Whole Foods Market. The company was founded in Austin, Texas. John Mackey and Renee Lawson Hardy were the original founders of the company. The focus is on featuring good, wholesome food. It's not a health store filled with potions and pills. It's also the largest natural organic foods grocer in the country. The original Whole Foods Market opened in 1980 with only a staff of 19. This was an immediate success. There were less than half a dozen natural food supplement stores that existed in the market at that time. In 1984, Whole Foods began expansions to cities like Houston and Dallas, then moving on to New Orleans. Then in 1989, they expanded to the West Coast, beginning in Palo Alto, California, and then on to other areas of the country, such as New York and Canada. In the summer of 1998, there was the development of their virtual store, which emerged. And as a result of that, wholepeople.com, their e-commerce site, was launched in March of 2000. In 2017, the announcement was made that Amazon was acquiring Whole Foods Market. And John Mackey still remains CEO of the company, and the headquarters still remain in Austin, Texas today. The focus is to bring the highest quality experience, convenience, and innovation to the customers. Whole Foods focuses on 6 core values. They sell the highest quality of natural and organic foods. They satisfy and delight customers. Promotion of team member growth and happiness. Win-win partnerships with suppliers. Create profits and prosperity. And they serve the community and their environment. Employees at Whole Foods enjoy benefits that include a comprehensive health plan, dental and vision, total health immersion programs, mental health assistance, training and development, volunteer programs in the community, and competitive pay, discounts for employees, and a PTO cash-out system. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the employee motivation and the morale at Whole Foods Market. Recently, in 2018, there was an inventory system that was launched, and it was there to utilize, to create efficiency and cut down on food costs. This inventory system is housed out of the corporate office. All of the inventory of every item in every Whole Foods market is managed in Austin, Texas through this system, which is called an order-to-shelf inventory. This inventory system utilizes scorecards and walkthroughs that are supposed to help with the efficiency in cutting down of food waste. Instead, morale has been an issue with this program because of the extremely high expectations and little to no room for error in this system. Managers are held to a very high standard from the regional and corporate office, and as a result, the managers are holding the employees accountable for this inventory system as well. So everyone plays a part with cutting down food costs and efficiency. However, this is at the price of the employees. This order-to-shelf inventory system is hurting morale. Employees are sharing concerns that the system leaves them with little to no time to interact with the customers, which is one of their big focuses. Stores are given walkthroughs to ensure inventory system is implemented to the exact standards. There is no room for error. Failing scores result in firings, and many employees are leaving the company as a result of this new inventory system. When we talk about employee motivational strategies and productivity, pay can influence employee motivation and behavior. We all know it can play a very big vital role in an employee's economic and social well-being. Employees aren't just motivated strictly by monetary awards, those extrinsic values, but also they want to enjoy their jobs and have satisfaction from the job that they're doing that comes from the work performed, which is those intrinsic values. Internal, values focus on the nature of the tasks being performed. What type of job description? External examples, can come from pay packages, performance benefits, etc. Although money is obviously a big motivational factor for all employees, we all want to be paid what we're worth. Sometimes, though, intangible rewards are just as beneficial as well. Pay must be linked to performance in order to be successful and in order to achieve the organizational objectives. And the rewards must be significant and often. Linking pay to performance will ultimately lead to an increase in both individual and even team performances. But there must be specific goals, clear expectations, training and development for all of these things to be successful. When we talk about the individual approach to motivation, feeling comfortable at work is important. And creating a good working environment lies within the management. Management, it comes from the top. If management is not creating that environment where it's a safe haven and employees want to come to work every day, motivation and productivity are going to suffer as a result of that. Recognizing and rewarding employees can be offered as a way to motivate them. And incentives should both be tangible and intangible to motivate employees to optimize better performance. Tangibles can include merit or productivity bonuses. Intangible incentives could be employee referrals, employee of the month, even paid afternoon time off. Incentives should be given to employees year-round, not just annually. The rewards need to come specifically when performance excels and is noticed right away. Again, individual awards for exceptional performance should be given. Incentives are rewarded based on a pre-established level of performance. Again, clear expectations, organizational objectives should be a focal point so that every employee knows the expectation in order to achieve a particular incentive. But even the smallest performance payments can increase morale. Advantages to the individual approach to motivation could be that productivity can increase when employees feel they are an important part of the overall success. If they feel like they have a voice in the system, then they are more likely to invest and work harder for the company. More autonomy should be evident for employees requiring less supervision. Task accomplishments are another way to approach individual ways to motivate, but shouldn't be dependent on the performance of others. If you're wanting to motivate your employees on an individual basis, incentives can give employees a reason to do their best. And employees want to feel that they are in control. And once they feel that and they feel confident in their work, motivation, productivity increase. People want to feel like they're important and the work that they are doing that is important. So for employees in the whole foods market, if they feel that the work that they're not doing is important and that it's just about cutting costs and inventory levels, and there's really no buy-in from the employees, morale is going to suffer. And as a result, employees are going to leave the company, even though they enjoy competitive pay. Benefits are very good at this company. But if you're not happy with the particular kind of work that you're doing, it can be, you can prove to be unsuccessful. Disadvantages could be increased in competition. Employees lose sight of the actual role and objective and focus on just the incentive itself. Another disadvantage at the individual approach, excuse me, is employees often resent other employees being rewarded for work that they feel they have done as well. And as a result, there's increased turnovers among new employees by the unwillingness of experienced workers. If new employees that are hired, are given these incentives, and the experienced workers, and this has a negative effect on them, they're not going to be willing to stay with the company. And also, mistrust between employees and supervisors. If you don't have the buy-in from the top management company as far as employee incentives on an individual level, employees are going to not trust the system. They're not going to trust that the managers have the best interest at heart. When we talk about team approaches to motivation and productivity, the output should be a collective and collaborative effort. Every team member needs to be a part of the process. There should be a high commitment to the company and the organizational objectives. Good performance measures and techniques must be evident in order for it to be successful. There needs to be, again, clear expectations, objectives, particularly at the retail level, weekly quotas, daily quotas, things of that nature need to be evident in order for employees to have goals and objectives and have a reason as to why they're doing this. The rewards on a team level need to be distributed evenly across the group. Now, sometimes that doesn't work to the best benefit because not everybody approaches a group or a team member role the same. But in a good team environment, team bonuses for productivity targets that are met should be one of the approaches to motivation. Tasks can be interconnected, and workers are expected to help each other. Team incentives can come in a multitude of shapes and sizes that fit this particular organization. Examples can include opportunities for development and fostering a culture of collaboration. Advantages and disadvantages to this team approach is an advantage could be that it can reinforce teamwork. And it may better reflect how the work is performed. Group efforts promote camaraderie. People want to work together, and you will get people that will not want to work together. So it is the job of management to foster that culture of collaboration in order for it to be successful. But each employee brings a unique set of skills to the table that can be very beneficial for an organization. And if performance goals are met, employees enjoy those rewards. However, there's always disadvantages. In cash profit plans, for example, profits may be influenced by factors beyond the control of the employees. Even though they have met the performance targets, they've met all the criteria for incentive, there could be outside issues and profits that they cannot control. Performance criteria may be achieved, but the financial targets are not met, resulting in less productivity among the employees. Again, if the employees feel like their job is important, they're working towards a team goal, and those goals are met, and they are rewarded for those goals in a timely manner, then they will want to work for the end result. Some approaches to motivation and productivity can be very, very costly for a company. And not all employees and not all employee tasks can be grouped as a team effort. Sometimes it is better to take the individual approach rather than a team or group approach. Choosing between individual or team approaches, we often ask ourselves, which is more beneficial? Excuse me. When we're talking about individual approaches, there are excellent measures of individual performance that can be used, such as sales or production volume or production quality that can be utilized upon meeting performance targets. When individual incentives are implemented, motivation increases and will lead to improved performance. But there has to be a systems-based approach that follows payments with improved organizational work, ultimately helping costs and budgetary controls. In a team approach, it is beneficial for reinforcement of the teamwork when performance goals and objectives are achieved. Team-based structure implemented, team performance is monitored to inhibit those free riders. So it must be monitored, it must be measured. Everyone must play a part in the role of increasing motivation and productivity. It starts from the top. The team approach reinforces the need for employees to work together to again, achieve the organizational goals. The suggested plan that I have is to build on the already robust benefit offerings at Whole Foods Market. It's important to give substantial bonuses for productivity, team and or individual, based on specific organizational objectives. There needs to be public recognition for exceptional performance, not just reaching a target, but those employees that go above and beyond their job each and every day and do what they're asked to do should be rewarded. Perhaps an employee of the month. Flexible work options should be utilized. Split shifts, perhaps a 4-day work week, 10-hour shifts for those full-time employees. abbreviated schedules to accommodate a work-life balance. Employees should receive referral bonuses after 6 months of employment. If you are referring your friends, you should be rewarded for that. Family and friends, a store discount day once a year. Not only is it important for you to get the discount, but perhaps if your family and friends once a year could receive that same discount, that would be very beneficial. And offering a paid day off for special occasions, such as an anniversary date of employment or your birthday. The limitations of the studies, substantial bonus programs may prove to be very costly and oftentimes are met with resistance. Full-time may be the only eligible employees for the incentives, but it's not offered to part-time employees. And management may not be on board with these initiatives, so they are not going to be as motivated and positive about the experience. And employees may want that recognition and those incentives, but the work that is associated with it may not be utilized. The methodology for my study is I researched scholarly articles, I utilized information from the Whole Foods Market website, and I reviewed articles that discussed how to boost employee morale and engagement. Recommendations that I have are to give substantial bonuses for productivity, customize the rewards, give employees options to choose, personalize the recognition experience with gifts or merchandise, consider thoughtful gifts instead of just cash. We all want a monetary bonus, but there are also other ways to show your thanks and appreciation that aren't monetary. Give the gift of time, flexible work options for those employees that have families, have daycare, and that want to be there, but because of other things outside of work, asked, to have to accommodate their schedules. Reinvent the team building exercise. It's important, again, to create that culture of collaborativeness and a team environment. And again, offer a paid day off for birthdays and anniversary dates. And even a simple thank you can be very beneficial both in team and individual settings. Conclusions and implications to the 21st century workforce. Whole Foods Market offers substantial benefits. We all know that. But how the culture must be restored. The store environment must provide a safe place to work without fear or retribution. They must hire adaptable store employees who are willing to communicate and collaborate with each other and management. You have to foster a culture of adaptability. And they must continue to provide training and development at all levels, including management, all the way down to a part-time associate, to meet the objectives of the organization. Here are the references that I used for my research. And I thank you for my time.